Next is Rose. She's ready, like she's mature, she's established.
All right, so what y'all think about Sahara?
She's exciting, she's interesting, all this stuff. But at some point, that wears off.
I think she also kind of reminds me of like what you've had in the past. And I think that y'all want to clash a lot as well.
Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Book 91. Yes, we're talking to you guys about Ready to Love. Well, it looks like unfortunately Rose has been sent home. Her journey has come to an end. Yeah. After telling a little bit of omitting information, the boys decided that it was her time to go home. Do we agree with the decision? I mean, someone had to go home. It was between Sahara, Angie, Rose. Somebody had to go home. Okay. And so I'm not necessarily mad at it. I actually feel for Rose. I do feel for her because it will feel like that one mistake sent her home. Whilst I do believe that part of it did send her home, I just think to myself that the guys just also was trying to find out who their best connection was with. And at that point in time, somebody was going. Okay. It's interesting because obviously Cam has obviously got Angie and has got Sahara. And the killer thing here is that in both Hussein and Cam, the families or the friends actually liked Angie over Rose. So the way that Angie presents herself seems to be a winning formula compared to Rose, right? Now, I'm not mad at the fact that that they sent Rose home because, again, like I said, I think it was a toss-up. It was like there was literally, it could have been anybody. You know what I mean? And so, I feel like I want to ask the question why Rose took so long to actually tell the boys that the baby father was in prison. Why did that need to be withheld? And so what that can do for somebody in their mindset is start to think that if somebody could withhold that kind of information, then they're probably withholding more information as they go along in the process, or even when you get to know them. Because her withholding information about her ex-baby daddy, brother, nobody care like that, nobody cares like that. So there was no reason to hide that information, right? She has her reasons. Yeah, maybe she felt she was going to be judged. Maybe she was afraid of being told off. Maybe she was afraid of being shamed or embarrassed about having a baby father that was in prison, and I can understand that. That tells us there's a lack of emotional safety within herself when it comes to being honest because she's afraid of losing connections. But then it's like, okay, so if that's the case, you probably might do this on other subjects, which can be very important. So I understand why the fellas decided that she had to go. Now, there were obviously other people who we need to discuss as well. We had Jay and his family as well, which I think was an insightful conversation because we got to see how both of them sounded like they're very.
He was rubbing his leg. He started massaging her neck, and I'm like, you don't see me standing right here? Oh, wow, okay.
How would you feel if it was turned around and a dude was rubbing her leg? Yeah.
Yeah, Jay boy. The family got him together. We thank God. So it's interesting to see how the family got Jay together and let him know that obviously, that particular behavior was not warranted. They didn't want it. They didn't like it. And I think that was cool. I think that the family held him accountable, let him know that it's not how he should behave. But they also held, Kiara also accountable and said, listen, hey, look, when you shut down, this doesn't help formulate healthy fostering relationships. And I think that was a good point. I think that's an amazing point because it really helps her understand the importance of communication, even in the moments when you feel like you don't want to talk right now. And what we saw was a shutdown from her. But I understand why she shut down, because he was playing in her face. Whether he likes it or not, he played in her face. And so it takes two to tango in some of these scenarios, because actually, had he not played in her face, she probably wouldn't have done this. But at the same time, we don't ever get to see his behavior until something actually happens. So it's a bit of give and take here. But I do think Jay and Kiara are probably in a good space. They're probably the most viable couple we have right now. Whether they stay long term, I don't know. Because I will be honest with you, like I said, all that stuff of that friend that wasn't a friend, all that shenanigans there, it could be hard to trust her. it sounds like she got a little bit of toxicity in her as well. So that can be something difficult. And Jay lacks toxicity. So this might actually last a bit longer with a lot of toxicity in between that time. Okay, this is giving Tony and Morgan without the energy. Okay, it's giving the guys from Miami. What's the guys from Miami? The fireman, I think it was, and our good friend. I always forget her name, but it'll come to me later on, right? So for me, I think they're in a good space. Now there was also a conversation also with Hussein, Angie, Rose. Again, what I said, it was quite interesting. We'll quickly go through it.
For nonprofit during the day, I am getting my licenses in therapy, and yeah, during the night I'm a bartender.
Okay.
Gotta make the coins. I gotta get the bag.
You got a connection with anybody else?
I do. With Cam, we actually have the same connection.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously, quick rundown. Swayze and Cadian, thank you very much. That was a couple I was thinking of. Quick rundown. The Hussein, Rose, and Angie conversation. Really interesting. Again, once more, I found it interesting because Angie really presented herself really, really well, right? She seemed very relaxed and very chill. And that came across to the way that she never felt like she was having to sell herself. And I think that was a powerful energy to bring to the table. I'm wondering why that energy didn't seem to be there earlier on in the episodes. Earlier on in the episodes, it seemed like she was a bit more anxious. In this scenario, she seems to be very cool, calm, and collected. Maybe she feels more comfortable as the show has gone on, or maybe she also feels like, you know what, she can't lose, you know, because here, whether they make it out or not, she's fine with it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're just cool with it. Like, you're cool with the result, whatever happens. And so that, I don't really mind what happens, makes you feel much more calm and cool and collected when you're dealing with people. And that makes it easier for you to actually inadvertently sell yourself, right? And we saw that with Angie and Rose situation a little bit as well. Conversation.
Faith in that after hearing this information for the first time on a date with you meeting my brother and my cousin, I was really confused at that point.
But single mom from day one. I'm from day one.
Now, obviously, again, you know, with Rose not releasing that information, I'm sure the panelists will come on and discuss it. With Rose not discussing the baby daddy situation, she was a little bit colder in that conversation, and in the one later on about the baby daddy situation. So we'll address that in a few moments, because I already mentioned it, and I want to focus on some of the other couples really, really quickly before we get there. Okay. Now, Taye and Cisco, another interesting scenario.
Can be addressed and they can be fixed.
Even though, like, you know, I do have concerns. What drew me back was I see someone who's very inspiring and caring, a great man who's very kind and gentle.
Now, I'm going to need Taye to start leaning on the goddamn chair. Sorry, Lord. I'm going to need Taye to start leaning on that chair. She be sitting like this. I don't like that. There's something about it. It's a body language I just don't like. When I see a woman doing that, I start thinking to myself, I don't like it. It's slouching. You're leaning. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't worked out what that body language means, but for me right now, that's not positive. When you lean on your chair like this, I just feel like I'm like, I don't like it. I don't know why, but something tells me I don't like it. Okay. Maybe it's just too chill. Maybe it's just too laid back. I don't know. It just feels a bit like that. Sometimes it feels unserious. But yeah. Taye and Cisco, what did we learn? Nothing. Nothing. What did we learn? Can we be honest? Tell me something that we learned that was new. We ain't learned nothing. Okay? We ain't learned nothing, blood. Okay? All right? These two, we didn't learn a thing. Apart from the fact that he's speaking, I think, Spanish.
And that's why I have been attracted to you.
Well, I like you.
Thank you.
Just sitting here talking to you, I feel like there's an organic connection. Don't worry about the little bumps in the road. Just learn how to communicate.
Nah, little bumps are big bumps, bro. Okay? All right? It looks big bumps, man. You know what I mean? It's big bumps in this scenario. So, I mean, it's not little. I know they're saying it's little, but for me personally, it's a big thing. You know, financially being stable for you is a big thing. So you shouldn't minimalize it in order to find love. Sometimes when you're minimalizing, sometimes when you minimalize your own needs, this is actually a betrayal, and it will lead to betrayal It'll lead to being betrayed. So you have to be very careful of that. Don't minimalize your needs in order not to take up space. You will end up regretting it and having more problems further on down the line. Now, yes, as somebody said, the problem we have here also is that he told her not to say anything in Spanish. And I said, what is there to tell her in Spanish? What is there to tell her that we have not told her already in Spanish? I said, then that we've probably got a bigger problem. If there's things that could be hidden in this scenario, I'm a little bit scared. What else could be hidden? Do you get what I'm saying to you? What else could be hidden? Because I'm like, I thought they done said it all. Now, it's also interesting. She said that she never really met any of his girlfriends. I'm surprised. And I say surprised in the sense of, we know that he was married, right? So it doesn't even matter about meeting girlfriends. You met his wife, which is why I felt like, okay, you know what? Cisco's here probably for the TV. He's here for the career. He's here to make himself get to Hollywood or whatever he is. Because when you start hiding this kind of information, I'm like, well, why would you need to hide it? Surely your sister saw your wife, right? Interacted with your wife, right? Something's a little bit not right in the milk with that one as well. Okay. Cam and his situation again. Okay.
You got yours, cool. I got mine. Let's go to bed. You know, I witnessed him being stubborn. You know, he was mad. He was upset.
You talk about busting windows out somebody's car.
I'm growing. I went to him being able to.
Now, listen. Once he mentioned that you're busting windows out the car, I'm gonna be real with you. If I'm family and I'm hearing that, I would have told his ass, yeah, don't even think about it, bro. Okay, don't even think about it. Because if she's not talking as if she regrets what she's ever done and she realizes how wrong it was back in the days, yeah, we need to leave that alone. Okay, all right, leave that alone. So the fact that the sisters was like, I know she busted a window out the car, but she just seems so personable. I said, so you don't think that's a little bit suspect? You didn't want to bring up cause of concern. You said that basically you think Sahara's more of the problem. Yet Sahara hasn't even busted windows out the car. Now, I agree though. Sahara is probably representing something that his exes have been like, and I can understand that being toxic. I'm not going to deny that at all. I won't lie to you. If I'm really honest with you, none of the girls are really great. Can we be honest with you? We talk about the man them not being great. The girl them, this lineup hasn't been great either this season. Okay? I mean, you think about it. Out of the three, who are you choosing? Rose, Angie, Sahara. Let's be freaking honest. The ladies ain't doing well either. Okay? The ladies ain't doing great either. Okay, these connections ain't it. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna keep it a buck and keep it real, you know. But yeah, no, the three ladies that were on there, I just was like, I wasn't really seeing who would really match for Cam. And the fact that Cam's got 3 up until the end and won't choose, I need him to fix the pick up. Okay, I need him to fix the pick up. We've got 3 at the end, sir. Pick one and move on, bro. You know what I mean? Pick one, then move on. Cam then decided he was going to have a date with Sahara. Okay. And I see my panelists are coming in, so I appreciate you guys.
Take Sahara out on a date to see if it's worth continuing.
Don't be trying not to smile.
Can't be smiling all the time.
Yes, you can. All the time you see me, you can.
What's up with you?
Can't lie to you, Sahara looking good food right now, you know. Sahara looking like good food. You understand? She's made a turnaround in this situation. I can't lie, because at the beginning of the season, she was crazy. I'm not saying she's changed that, because she's still wild with it, but she looked like good food right now. You understand? But let me just be real with you. Hey, I see you, Jay. Don't do that. We're coming out looking at that, Jay. But but yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so what was I saying? Sorry, I got distracted, guys. I got distracted. See, this is what happened with Cam too. He got distracted. But yeah, no. So this situation with Cam and Sahara, you know, we really, you know, I saw I think I think he really wants Sahara. Let's be honest. I think he likes Sahara. She does remind him of probably his exes. But what I do like, I think that, you know, the way he bought her a little gift, you can tell he wants to spoil her. And like I said, it's a race. It's a race that will be for whether she has the ability to grow and be healthy versus his patience. Which one will win? It's a risk. If he decides to go down that lane with Sahara, the risk is, can his patience outweigh her race to being more healthy and moving in a more healthy format? Okay? All right? I'm just saying, Sahara looking kind of real spicy right now. I mean, like, Rose is looking spicy today as well, too. If I'm honest with you, that lavender she wore was, I mean, if all three ladies were looking good, even Angie was giving body, you know what I mean? So shout out to the ladies for bringing it today, this week as well. Especially when a little cut scene where they're all wearing a little night dresses too. I said, "Woo-hoo-hoo." I said, sir, I'm gonna have to drop myself. Okay, I'm not a changed man now, guys. I'm a changed man now. So yeah, the date was cute. I liked what it did. Obviously, Hussein had a conversation with Rose, and yeah, it went from exciting to wilted flower in a second or two.
You know, meeting my family. How was that?
I was definitely ready for whatever questions. You know, I'm a big girl.
Speaking to my brother, it had came up about the ex in prison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that wasn't something. Yeah, that wasn't something that was like.
Now, I'll be honest with you. Listen, the Hussein and Rose situation. Rose just needs to do one thing: be accountable. That's all she needs to do. She'll have got away with this situation, right? She just be accountable. She'll have got away with it. I can't lie to you. The moment she wanted to dig her heels in, that was the moment she lost. Okay, all right. The moment she dug her heels in and not really want to stand 10 toes down, and the fact that, you know what, actually, you know what, I'm wrong. My bad. I can change it for a while. Yeah. When she started digging her heels in, I already knew that, baby, it won't go well. Old girl wasn't going to do what needed to be done. Okay, all right. And she gonna get vexed in a situation where the reality is she hiding some stuff.
Look for your...
His ass better not.
You can feel one way, but this person can come home and they looking.
No,
we're not gonna mess it up. No.
Yeah.
You wanna just say?
No, I'm fine.
I hate this.
It definitely was an emotional moment for me. He made me unlock the door that I once locked because.
Now, she said obviously he unlocked the door. I'm like, baby, why was that door locked in the first place? The whole situation, okay, the whole situation shouldn't have been locked in the first place. This should have been an unlocked door. Okay, should have been an unlocked door from time ago because you talking about having the father of your kids. So nobody needs a whole download. Like, let's be honest, it's not a whole download, but you gotta let us know, B. You know what I'm saying to you? You gotta let us know, B. Give us a heads up, man. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Like, give us a heads up a little bit, man, because you know what I mean? Them ones there, fam. Like, oh God, they want to tell us the truth. I'm like, come on now, sis. Come on, sis. Do us a favor, relax. You know what I'm saying to you? Do us a favor, relax. And just tell the truth and move on. You know what I mean?
Doesn't happen. But we started off on a lie almost to find this out damn near at the end. So definitely a game changer.
So better communication.
Better communication.
Yes.
There we go.
Hussein said, you know what? I'm not forgiving it. Sorry. Yeah. Hussein said, listen, I hear it. And I love the fact you come clean now, but I'm going to be honest with you. I can't forget it. Okay. I can't forget it and I can't forgive it. All right. It is what it is, but we've got to move. Last little bit before I invite the panelists on.
You know, I don't hide it. My connection with Hussein, you know, is stronger because, like I said, he was consistent in the beginning.
This is content for me just to gain clarity on everything.
Yeah.
So stuff that I did here in the book, your child's father.
All right, listen. So the child's father situation, Rose, this is where she messed up really bad as well, right? Okay. In this situation. This is where she messed up really bad as well. Okay. In this scenario, in this situation, okay. Why was she not honest? Not even honest, sorry. Why was she deflecting? Baby girl, he said you withheld information. She said you withheld information. But the withheld that he withheld was about something that you were doing too. You had Hussein in your bed. And he had Sahara in his. What is the withholding of information here? You know what I mean? What was the withholding of information here? Okay, all right. So for me personally, I was just like, okay, well, sis, we're kind of deflecting right now, and you just don't need to deflect. Just own it, move past it. It makes it easier. But I felt like she had a bit of a chip on her shoulder in terms of wanting to defend it. Maybe she's been judged before. Maybe she feels like she's been shamed in the past. Maybe she's been made to feel embarrassed or guilty for her preferences, and therefore that's why she chose what she chose. But my thing was like, baby girl, this is not even a big thing. Just accept it and move. Like you ain't. This is not one of those wild things. Like it's not even a big thing. So it's even making us wonder why you wanted to lie about it, because it wasn't that big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Was there a reason why, like, that information was withheld?
I don't have anything to hide. My son's father, he is incarcerated.
Okay.
Am I thinking about it? Hell no.
But at the end of the day, we're all putting our out there. It makes us feel slighted.
Well, in the end, okay, they sent her home. Okay, all right, they sent her home. Now, someone asked, why is it important? It's very much important because, in this life, when people go to prison, okay, they're probably scary. I'm gonna be honest with you. People that go to prison, probably a little bit scary. Okay, we had Ginger J in UK come out of prison after 11 years and start cussing down black women. So listen, it's scary when people will come out of prison. You don't know what they went through. Okay, they don't know their mental state. Okay, so I'm not trying to put people down who go to prison. Listen, hey, we're just saying that you got to exercise some caution, because now he has a child with that lady, and he may feel entitled as well to her. You have to be very careful and cautious how you move in them spaces. Okay, it's just what it is. We don't want to have to be getting into a fight with somebody if it's not necessary. You know what I mean, or some nonsense like that as well. Okay, so definitely understand that perspective as well. But yeah, I hear what you guys are saying. Hussein wanted to go. Someone said the kid is grown. The kid is grown. So why would she need to lie? Think about it. If the kid is grown and the kid's gonna have his own relationship with the dad, why would she need to lie? That's the truth. So there's probably something that brother has done that if she has to explain why he's in prison, you gonna look at them differently. You know what I mean? Like if he robs a bank and that's why he's in prison, we can all go, you know what? He robbed the bank. At worst, he might rob my house, but that's about it. You know what I mean? Like, but if he's in there for violent conduct, brother keep fighting everybody, brother keep beating people like GBH, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you gonna want to know. Because that brother has no qualms putting his hands on you. Okay, he'll be in for a second strike. He don't mind. Okay, all right. Them kind of people there that are quick to put hands and feet and toes and fingers on you. You know what I'm saying, Chu? All right, pause. But you know what I'm saying, like them kind of people there. Yeah, you can't blame them, bro. You know what I'm saying, Chu? So yeah, it had to go that way. But hey, shoot, let me get my panelists on as well to discuss this show. I'm sure we're going to go deeper with it as well on this episode as well. Okay. Let me get Sean, Jay, and Seaway up as well. How we doing, folks? Hello, Jay.
Hello, Governor.
What's going on? You all right?
I'm good. How y'all doing today?
I'm good. It's been a little minute still.
But my internet is we back off of shaky ground, so I'm back.
Looks stable.
I hope it's off of shaky grounds. I might be frozen and don't even know it right now.
No, you look stable. You're good. We appreciate you.
Hello, y'all.
It's my internet that's doing buggy. Hey, Seaway.
Hey, how are you doing?
You're not working today, no, Seaway, no?
I am. I'm actually walking to the Aces game right now. I'm in Vegas.
Have mercy. This woman doesn't stop working. We appreciate you, baby.
I don't. I learned from you.
Get out. Sean, what you saying, broski? He gonna call us from the elevator, Sean. That was my favorite time when Sean would come from the elevator. He'd be in his elevator.
The fact that he be saying he ready and then he still be in the elevator by the time he
Kiara go up.
I can't see your beautiful eyes with that hat covering your eyes.
She said she ain't trying to let nobody see nothing.
Just like Rose ain't trying to tell nobody nothing.
You try to give that air of
Don't
mystery.
even align yourself with poor Rose. Rose done turned into a weed. I don't even know. Roses.
Them thorns came out, baby. Them thorns came
It
out.
was more than thorns. I didn't even understand what she was talking about. She just was making up things and she went along.
Baby, trust me. You ain't tell no lie. You know what I'm saying? She ain't tell no lie. So listen, it's a real thing right now. You get me? It's a real thing right now. But listen, this episode was interesting, and I cannot wait to get you guys' perspective on it because, like I said, obviously a couple of the couples were intriguing. I think this season has been, of course, because they left us for so long, I think this season has lost a little bit of impetus, a little bit of speed, and that's a bit of my interest a little bit. But we are making it through. So we're going to focus on this episode here. Of course, Rose is a big talking point in space. So let's deal with Rose immediately. You know what I mean? Our strength is here. What's you guys and ladies' thoughts around this situation? Rose decided that this is the episode she gonna ball out. Okay, she ain't gonna tell nobody nothing. Is there a reason why? Do we feel like there's a reason why Rose didn't tell the men until towards the end that the father of her kids is incarcerated and in prison? Is there a reason why you guys think this situation is happening? And if it's a plausible reason as to why she did this? Yes, Jay.
I'm not gonna say this reason is good or legit, or should be a reason at all. But I'm gonna go with something that they kind of said in the episode itself. The guy said maybe she's seen how everybody did Kiara, because a lot of the men probably were looking at Kiara until they realized she has her kid's father also in prison. That could be a reason. One of the other things that I was just recently thinking because of something she said is the first thing that came out of her mouth: where's the loyalty? If this one thing turns you from me. So it's giving me that Rose is kind of a tester. And, she has this very unique way of trying to test you, but by dropping little crumbs to bombshells on you. Also, it could be just as simple as Hussein didn't ask the right questions. I know it sounds crazy. I know people like to believe that you should just tell people off the bat all of this information and stuff like that. But some people keep things close to chest, and you just have to ask the right questions. So it could be as simple as that. But do I feel like if you're seriously trying to date people and that you want to be going into a long-term relationship with them, this is something that you might want to share off the rip. The fact that she even said she has a 13-year-old friend that didn't even know this situation, yet baby daddy just went to jail 6 to 7 years ago. So why doesn't he know about the other situation? He don't have to know about the jail situation, but why doesn't they know about your co-parenting style and all this stuff like that? And it was a lot too. I'm sorry, Sean, I'm gonna let you go because I know the question was short, but it's a lot when it comes to Rose because you really have to listen to her. She's been a single parent since day one, according to her. But he just went to jail. So you would make it seem like he went to jail since the boy was 17 in some regards. But he just went like 6-7 years ago. However, you've been a single parent from day one. So that's still a conversation that needs to be had on why you are a single parent. So I don't know how this ball was missed. I'm with Hussein. Maybe he didn't ask the right questions or she avoided all of them the way she was kind of doing in this whole thing at the beginning with the friends. I feel like she should have kept avoiding it. And we'll get to that a little bit later.
Sean, your thoughts? Is there a reason why?
Well, I see Seaway's back. I know she has a very interesting take. So
I can go last. I just got to get my food so I can go to where I can say it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because her take gonna blow your minds. So listen, I'm sorry. And if anybody remembers, I love me some Rose up in the beginning. But I fear Rose completely lost the plot. I'm super concerned about, just the way she conducts herself. I think she needed to go home. And I see, you know, Jay, thank you for directing me to online. There's a lot of people capping for her and saying that they did her a disservice and she shouldn't have went home. What? Like, are you okay? Like, are you kidding me? She is not ready to love. She's not. Nice woman, beautiful gowns, but she's not ready to love. Like, my flabber was gasted when I think she was talking to Cam, and he was just talking to her and trying to like understand like where the breakdown happened, and she started talking about him sharing a room with Sahara. It's like, what? Like, did we lose the plot? Rose, whoa, are all the wheels turning the way they're supposed to turn? Because that made no sense. That had nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Like, what are we talking about right now? And then, like, she was so upset about this whole thing. Then she got angry. It's like, ma'am, that is a major, like, lack of information. So, yeah, and then when she was with the friends, telling what was she talking to Cam's friends? Talking about, oh, if we argue, then we just gonna have sex and I'm gonna sex him out of the argument. Ma'am, where's Jesus? What happened to Jesus? She was all talking about Jesus in the first part. It's like, is Rose a Decepticon? Has she transformed? Did we lose her? Like, Rose. And then she's like, ain't nary one of them between Hussein, you know, and Cam, they borderline atheists. What? Like, Rose, she don't know herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, she really don't know herself. And I think she's just trying to like fit in, get in where she can fit in. And she just really started to make me nervous these last few episodes. And I hated to see her cry. That saddened me because, you know, but ma'am, you have to understand there's consequences. There's consequences. So that's my thought, my rant.
Right on time.
I don't know. Seaway's. I mean,
I'm
and
here.
she's still on the food. Okay, go for it, Seaway.
Sorry, I feel like I'm doing 5 million things at once.
You're good, babe. Don't worry. Because you danced on TikTok. I saw you.
Yes, personally, I feel like Rose is disassociating. Rose, the trauma from this situation, to me, with the child's father in the prison and all that type of stuff, she has completely disassociated. And I know, you know, you mentioned Kojo being accountable. I think it's far beyond that. I think she has fully separated herself from the situation. It's almost impossible for her to be accountable. And I think that's kind of happened a couple of times, even with her strange comments, like, oh, she had a super good connection with Cam, like just things that don't make a lot of sense. She's in a different planet right now. So, and I feel bad for her. So. Sean can explain more because I talked to him about it, but I'm in the media room, so.
Listen, I was flabbergasted more by Seaway's empathy and her, you know, just wrapping her arms around Rose, you know, and at first I laughed, but I guess maybe there's some truth to it, you know. There could be some cognitive issues, some things that she's masking, you know. So Seaway might have a point, but either way, she ain't ready to love. I'm sorry. And she need to go see that lady. She don't need to be sitting with nobody. And I think, because if you remember, who was it? Was it Cam or was it Hussein? This was like before they took this ridiculous hiatus. They was like, when they met her ex, they was like, you know, he's not telling us nothing. It just seems like fluff. I think the fellas were seeing that, you know, there was a mask and she was presenting things and not even saying, you know, not being authentic about who she was. And that was a prime example for her to have some vulnerability. and it just wasn't there. So maybe she needs to sit and really unpack the trauma, like Seaway said, kind of like dive into that and really do the work. She ain't ready to love. I'm sorry. And it's not a bad thing. It just means you have to do that so that you're prepared, because you're just spouting out things, talking about we gonna have sex and not fight, and that's how, and I don't take nothing serious. That she said that too. I don't take anything serious. I just laugh it through. Ma'am, no. We're not 20. You know, we're not 18. We don't laugh our way through stuff. Like, that doesn't get anything fixed. Just the same way, you know, as Kiara screaming into her pillow or looking in the pillow, that don't fix nothing. You know, you have to communicate. You have to work through it. You have to talk. So, you know, as much as she may have felt those feelings, and I think that was valid, there's more things important in a relationship. And, you know, we'll get to Cisco, but the same for him. And I'm tired of Tommy can put all his capes away. And anybody else that want to throw a cape, his sister, these people are not ready to love.
I have empathy for, there could have been some actual trauma there. There could have been something actually there. I'm going to reserve a space for that. However, I'm still on the same page as Sean. You need to go see somebody because you're still suffering. Because when you say that you will laugh things through, yet you're blowing up as soon as a person asks you about the situation, that's a problem. Because where's the laughter? You should be laughing through that situation. I mean, I wouldn't think that is a laughing matter. However, that's what you said. It ain't gonna be no problem. I just laugh at everything. Yet, as soon as they ask you about the situation to get clarity, you get defensive. That's what I started really questioning this whole thing or whatever and stuff like that. Because if there is trauma there, it's nothing for me to say respectfully. There a lot of stuff took place during that relationship that I don't really want to discuss right now. But in the right time, at the right moment, I'll be totally open with you about anything and stuff regarding that situation. But right now, I just want to not think about it, especially on camera. Please respect me. You know what I'm saying? That could have been a simple conversation. My other part where I was saying earlier is Rose need to be accountable for her choices, because at the end, you're sitting here being disappointed with Hussein instead of yourself. You're mad at the guys saying they don't have no loyalty. They don't know you. This is 2 weeks to a month in. They do not know you to have all this strong loyalty to you and all this situation like that. And then on top of it, you're mad at your own choices for not revealing this information that you rob other people of their choices. Now you're mad at their choices for not choosing to rock with you. You made a choice, and you can't say that you didn't make a choice to withhold that information because you chose to share the information in front of the friend and the cousin and the brother. They didn't ask you, where's your baby daddy? They ask you what the relationship is. You could have stopped at non-existent, been a single parent since day one. You chose to say, he don't know this, but he is been locked up 6-7 years ago. What 6-7 years got to do with 17 years of being a parent? The first 10 years, what was going on? So when you start breadcrumbing situations like this and people start asking more questions, you can't be mad at them for wanting to know more. You could have shut that whole conversation down from the jump and not said anything. Kept it riding out. I ain't seen that man since he decided he don't want to be a father. Don't know what's going on. Don't know where he's at. Haven't heard from him in years. My son got a phone. I think they got each other's number. I don't really know what's going on. I leave it alone. This whole being defensive behind it, all that stuff, that is not a sign of maturity. That is not a sign that you're actually over that situation and whatever else is going there. And then you cannot sit here. I'm sorry. I understand that, people feel like you can just dismiss the other 32 chromosomes of your child, but you really can't. Like you said, you know who the father is, the child know who the father is. So you cannot sit here and just act like you're going to erase that memory, because it's not erased. Every single day your child is alive is a waking memory of that trauma, unfortunately. I know some people who have had child of a R case, you know what I'm saying? But I don't hear them using that child as an excuse on this is a reminder. You know what I'm saying? Nor are they saying that this is like something that is a crutch in my future about what happened. They don't have the conversation. They only have the conversation with people that they're close to, respectfully and stuff. So it's just like you made that choice at the end of the day. You have nobody to be disappointed in but yourself, Rose. That's where your accountability, that's where your blame. And that was your moment, like Sean said, to be vulnerable came at. It's like, you know what? When she apologized to Hussein, you know what? I should have told you this. But it was some trauma behind it, and I just wasn't ready to share. Boom. I can't be disappointed if he decides he don't want to mess with me no more because he feels like omission is a lie, whatever, and stuff like that. The man told you way back in the day that you got one chance with him. You got one chance. So when you heard him say you got one chance, you should have probably been like, you know what? Let's talk about some stuff and see if let's see. And sometimes you got to chalk it up. You're just not my person. Okay. I would have loved for you to be my person, but I'm not mad at your decision because I made a choice not to tell you. Now you get to make your choice on how you want to deal with the information I just gave you. Done deal.
Definitely hear you. Strong with it. You get me? Strong with it. Okay. So obviously with Rose, yeah, you want to say Sean? Go for it, Sean. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I think this is an example of like when people say living in your truth, this is when living in your truth goes wrong because you have to know the truth, you know? And if you're not being honest about the truth, and when your truth and the truth are not coinciding, you go off script. And I think Rose just got real comfortable talking with the friends, and she forgot that her truth and the truth was never disclosed to Hussein. And that's why just being honest and transparent is so important. And you can't just, say, oh, well, I've come up with my own version of reality and that's what's working for me. We got to work through it, because if you're pretending, you're pushing down, you're blocking out, you're eliminating parts of you that can potentially impact your future mates, suppressing it, whatever you're doing, that is gonna bleed in to the relationship that with the other person. As much as you think that ain't got nothing to do with you, oh yes it does. Oh yes it does. But because the way you handle things is going to be evident in the way that you handle our relationship. Just the same way she says, I laugh off everything, I make a thing a joke. That means you're going to push things away that are serious, that you're not going to talk about them. You may feel a particular way, but you're going to push it down, block it out, and then it might come out in another way. So, I think that trauma needs to be handled. Now, somebody said this comment, I think it was Nola, darling, and I would tend to agree, and other people might have said it too, that Cam really didn't like her either. And I think two things can be true. I think Cam was looking for a way to get out of the scenario, or he might not have been both feet in. And this was just his exit strategy. And that I don't think was right either. He owed it to her to have a final conversation, whether he did off camera. If he did off camera, kudos. If he didn't, yeah, that's not the way to do it. If you two have built a strong connection and you felt like this was a deal breaker, you owe it to her to really have a strong conversation with her.
Cam or Hussein?
I mean, Hussein. I'm sorry, Hussein.
Yeah, respectfully, I agree with that part. I was going to say, like, into Rose's case, and people that are out here pretending to be other people, because Sean was saying something that triggered this thought. This is what happens when you're pretending, because you got to keep up with all the lies and all the stories that you tell people, whatever, stuff like that. This is why she was struggling when it came to the 3-on-1 date with Cam against Angie, because Angie is being very authentic to herself. Even Sahara is authentic to herself. Sahara was trying to give a little bit pageant answers to some of the stuff, but she's a little bit more authentic. And when you're more authentic to yourself, you don't have to be nothing but yourself. You don't have to keep up with nothing but yourself. And Rose is over here pretending to be like this perfect bloom. And it's like, you're not. It's okay. We all have flaws. And then, you know, and then you got to be humbled, because remember just last week, she was trying to talk about how she was pretty much better than the girls because she knew the guys a little bit better, but they don't know you. And then it's always these people that want to scream, y'all don't know me, y'all don't know this and stuff like that. Duh. You don't allow people to know you, but you want to be the first one to say, nobody loves me for the real me. Nobody loves an authentic Jay. They don't love me and stuff. They don't do. You don't give the person a chance to ever see who you really are. You got to trust somebody one day, like with yourself. That means you got to learn to trust yourself. And like Sean say, be for real about the facts that's going on in your life. You can't be delusional about it and stuff like that, or just be, I don't want to think about it ever again, so it doesn't exist anymore. It still exists. You have to really live through it. You got to breathe through it. You got to walk through it. If you're about God, that's a part of tribulation, trials and tribulations. You go through it and you sit in it. Sometimes you got to sit and dwell on how I even got there in the first place, so I don't return back there. But this is all about finding truth of yourself. This is all a journey. And just take hold of the journey. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, you have a kid by somebody that you really didn't really mess with. Like it's that, but it's just like, okay, now I got to deal with it. It's my child is here. I had to deal with the situation and stuff like that. I got to move forward, but it's a part of my story. It's a part of my journey. People go to jail, sometimes not for things that they even did, but it's a part of their journey. You just have to accept that sometimes shortcomings are part of the story, but it makes the whole story beautiful at the end, especially when you become the victor. So I just would like Rose to take hold of her story, because it's her story. And she could have told it a way better way than this. And it could have been actually helping somebody else move on in their story.
Listen, I'm hearing you guys strong. Hearing you guys strong on this. So with obviously Rose and her situation, that then leads us to obviously Cam and his three ladies and his choices. Okay, because Cam has Sahara, he has Rose, he has Angie, and of course when he had his date, you know, Angie actually came out on top in terms of, you know, the friends kind of see, or should say, a young lady who I don't know if he mentors or whatever, and then another lady who I think is his friend or sister, I'm not sure, one of the two, very much in that space, but they gave Angie the #1 spot. Okay, I want to get you guys' thoughts and ladies' thoughts on this, with Cam and his three multiple choice ladies in this space. What do we think? What do we feel about the situation? Is Cam struggling to make choices? Is Cam in, you know, playing too much? How do we view this scenario with Cam and his three choices and that date that he had, I guess, with the friend and I guess his mentee, it sounds like, as well, in that space almost. What's your thoughts, sis? Who would like to go first? Wow.
Because Sean is just trying to hold out forever. I don't even know why. I just finished talking, Sean.
Sean ain't even breathing. He wasn't even breathing. He's holding to the camera. He's not even breathing. He's holding his breath.
That's the way Cam is about these choices between the lady. Cam holding on to Sahara as long as he can. Okay. Listen, I feel like the sisters. I think it was sisters. I'm not really sure who the family was. I forgot. Sorry to them. No disrespect. I feel like they actually said something more about Sahara, because the cut was crazy. It was like, okay, about Sahara, and then it was like, oh, she's nice, she's pretty. It was almost reciting what Cam probably was saying about her or whatever, and not really what they was thinking about her at first. So I know, I mean, they at the end, they was like, you know, she's cool, but that's like your old past and all that stuff like that. I don't think they gave good feedback when it came to Sahara. But Cam is stubborn. And Cam is still trying to figure out reasons why he should choose Sahara. And though I agree with Sean about how Hussein played it, this was Cam's out too with Rose. Because it was, if Sahara and Rose was neck to neck like this, and her withholding that information is the reason that you just gonna let her go so you can keep Sahara, so it can make an easier decision probably between Angie and Sahara. I see you. I don't know. The family choosing Angie for him based off of she's pretty. You know, I do respect that. Like I said, she gave very authentic answers. She was very true to herself. And so that's always going to make you, you know, sound a lot better to a lot of people. Sometimes, depending on who yourself is, not everybody can be as authentic and pull it. Y'all, some of y'all got to work on your charm. But, you know, she was very true to herself and spoke like life into a lot of situations or whatnot. And he probably does need that. He probably does need that type of spirit around him. Him and Jay, I mean, for me, him and Rose never really had anything. Like he said, he closed her off when she basically picked Hussein to be at the trip with him, even though he was sleeping with Sahara. So, you know, it is what it is. Do I feel like out of the choices that they made, Angie is probably the best bet for him? I would say on paper, yes, but he keeps saying like basically all they has is a sexual chemistry towards each other. So I don't know overall how that will really look in his eyes, because if he only sees her as that, that's not a good start for a man to be in a relationship with. Because, you know, once that fire fades off, then what? If we don't have nothing else to hold on to until the fire starts burning again, you know? So I don't know. I just think all of them can go at this point. Ain't no pickings for anybody at this point. I don't, as him and Sahara, it's a lot of chemistry. There's a lot of matchup there, but if it's anything like his past, I feel like he might be repeating. She could be the best part of his past, but obviously if the sisters find it's like bad parts, the toxic people in the past, then you just repeating those cycles. So I just feel like I don't want him to choose himself, but he just need to go on. Bye.
Yeah, I guess I'm LaToya Luckett, torn in between the two, because I don't know. I feel like Cam and Sahara are a good fit sometimes, and then sometimes I feel like not. But I like Sahara, and I just want somebody to just treat her right, you know, because she just seems like she would really, you know, be loyal, give her all. She's self-aware. You know what I'm saying? I love how she handled that Kiara situation with Kiara and No More Epps. You know, you know what I'm saying? I just love how she dealt with that scenario. So I don't know, but I do think, you know, he does need to get it together. Like 702 says, get it together. You know, he got to get it together. He need to figure it out. Well, clearly he figured out that Rose is no more Rose. A Rose by any other name is gone. Because Rose is gone. So clearly it ain't Rose. He went against his family, which I was kind of surprised. But those young ladies, God bless them, they wasn't doing nothing. They wasn't really helping unearth anything. Talk about, she's pretty. I like her. I'm glad you brought somebody pretty in front of us. I mean, like, I fear you've lost the plot. Like, what are we doing and why are we doing it? Like, of course you want somebody attractive, but like, it needs to be like, we need to, you know, come on. Because I'm sorry. I think it's time. Angie should have went home already. I think Angie needs to go. I'm sorry. I'm going to just say it. I'm just going to be brutally honest. I think Angie needs to go. She doesn't have like a genuine connection. She's hanging on by a thread. Might be an unpopular opinion. It might be, you know, a little mean, a little cold, but Angie got to go. Because I don't see like everybody's connections are like really sparse with her. She ain't really talking about much, if I can be frank. I mean, it's just the three of us here, you know. What's Angie talking about? Kojo, Jay, can y'all tell me what Angie talk about? What's one thing of substance she done said this whole 12 weeks long?
The windows out your car.
She need to put a garbage bag over them busted out windows and drive home.
So just know, have some window money on hand.
Exactly.
Save up, Buttercup. It's getting sticky.
Ain't nothing going on other than her hosting events with Hussein's friend. Bartending events. Bartending.
I mean,
I would get cussed out and blocked soon, so don't worry.
I mean, listen, at the S Club, the bartenders do make a lot of cash and not have to take off as much. They might be scantily clad. So I just want to know if she was still wearing clothes at these parties, you know. So.
Yeah, so Cisco just not Cisco, sorry, Hussein. I was reading the chat at the same time and thinking, Hussein just needs to he knows he needs to settle in with Sahara, and I'm glad he listened to his own intuition, because I think sometimes your family may be well-intentioned or what have you, but you got to know who's giving the advice. And again, bless those young ladies' hearts. They tried their best, but I wouldn't listen to them either, to be quite honest.
Yeah, you know, and I want to go back to Nola Darling's first super chat. And thank you, Nola Darling, for the super chats. Bless your heart, mama. But the first one, she was basically saying Cam is triggered by crazy and Angie, but like Sahara. It's two different types of crazy. You know, it's two different types of crazy. And sometimes when I feel like I can control your crazy, like Hussein said about Angie, oh, I got that. I can handle her. That's how Cam feels about Sahara. I can handle her. Because whenever Sahara says, oh, you know, I like to get loud, I like to get this, but he calms me, that feeds his ego. But to hear Angie say, oh, no, I have to control this. I have to do all of this stuff like that. That's a different type of crazy for Cam. I can't control that crazy. I can't calm that crazy down. So I don't want to deal with that crazy. That crazy gonna get triggered by my crazy. And next thing I know, I ain't got no windows in my car. So before we go there, let me just deal with the one that might put a light little voodoo on me. Y'all like to say crazy is crazy. Crazy is not crazy, baby. It's levels to the crazy, okay? Some people are the Joker and Harley Quinn. Some people just the Penguin. All I'm saying is levels to this, you know? Some people might play mind games crazy. Some people bust your windows out crazy. I don't know. It's levels. But some people understand certain levels to crazy. That's a crazy he's familiar with. Sahara's a crazy he's familiar with. He's at the point where in his mind, his ego thinks he's mastered that crazy, so I can handle that. Now, Sahara could be a mix with Angie's crazy, and he just don't know it yet. But for Angie, that's just like, that's too much crazy for him. It's like, oh, you're already at the stage that I'm trying to get you to. So you're already going to do this crazy. Oh, no, I can't deal with that. So that's why he's triggered by Angie's crazy, but not Sahara's.
Nola, she's just rooting for Rose. Rose is her internet cousin. That's what's going on, because she is advocating for Rose. I mean, Hussein could go home. I mean, they all theoretically could go home because ain't nary a match in the whole crew. Hussein's going to choose himself at that bridge. He ain't picking nobody. And if you pick them, it's going to be a very short-term road to nowhere. So why is you keep advocating, you know, if this one got one omission and they got to go? It's not an excuse. I mean, we also do have to be honest. Rose had some severe issues. She wasn't even being true to herself. She presented to us as a Christian, a believer, and her faith was of the utmost importance, and then morphed into FNF.
No,
You know what
darling,
FNF is, Kojo?
what excuses though? Whose excuses are we referring to? Because I didn't feel like there was excuses. She omitted information that was very valuable. So now they have choices to decide if they want to, what they want to do with the information she finally decided to give. Those are not excuses.
No. And listen, you know this channel, we always nuance things. So multiple things can be true at the same time. Yes, was Hussein ready to cut her loose? Yes. Did Rose misrepresent the situation and potentially, you know, withhold important parts that could be detrimental to trust in a relationship? Those, you know, it's true. I'm sorry. And just a lot of people, and I get it. Selfishly, everybody wants love. Just like Cisco selfishly wants love. But you also have to, you can't enter into a relationship selfishly. Like, what my ex got to do with me? You're being selfish because you want love, but you're not considering what you're putting that person into. So we also have to be honest about that. When you say, oh, I have X, X, Y, and Z, it doesn't matter. You're being selfish because you're saying, it doesn't matter to me, but it matters to the other person. And you're dismissing their concerns because you feel like you got it under control. But history has shown us that a lot of times things can go left really quick. So you have to give the person the opportunity to be like, hey, I'm willing to take on that risk, or I don't want to take on that risk. Because if you care for somebody, hey, I want you to know exactly what you're walking into. Just like for a guy, if I got a crazy baby mama who might fight you on a Sunday if she don't like something that you said or we get into it, I need to let you know that. And I can't say, oh, I got her, I'm not going to let her do nothing to you. But when she catch you down at the Walmart and I'm not around, then y'all on World Star. Then what? You going to be cussing me out. I'm just saying. That's I had to give a scenario so folks can understand, when the shoe's on the other foot, it'd be kicking.
Just let me know what I'm walking into and let me make my own choices. Because at the end of the day, that's the best way to go if you don't want me mad at you at the end. Just tell me. If I decide I want to venture off and deal with your criminal ex-husband, baby daddy, whatever the case may be, let me make that choice. She basically, see, this is what y'all defending right now, and then y'all get mad when men do this to you. She's basically taking away their choices to decide how they want to live their life. But when a man do this to you, he got a whole wife, he got this, that, you understand it. She made a choice. She didn't have to sit there and bring it up at all. She didn't have to talk about it because the kid is totally on his way to being grown, as Sean has put out in the chat. He's 17. I don't have a relationship with my baby daddy. I don't have a relationship. My son has one. That's between them two. Period. 17 years ago, that's when the last time I seen that man, the last time I did. 7 years ago, that's the last time I talked to that man. That's the last time me and that man did anything. Unless you still putting money on that man's books, there should have been no reason why that conversation had to go any further. Then I don't have a relationship with him. But she made the choice to highlight that part. Why did you highlight that part at that moment? You stayed in a whole room with this man. I don't know what kind of conversation, if they was having any conversation at all. You stayed in a whole room. I'm trying to remember who it was he had asked earlier, what's the relationship with the kid's father? Because I could have swore it was Rose was asked that. I almost think everybody that said they had a kid and was asked, what's your relationship to the kid's father? In private, I could have sat there and told you. In public, I could have told you I don't have a relationship. In private, I could have told you why. While we in behind these closed doors in the room, I could have been letting you know exactly why I don't have a relationship with my kid's father. Not in front of your brother and not on a surprise fly that I didn't, because I never told you. So that man has every right to feel some type of way, because what else is you going to pop up on me in front of people? When you just get comfortable talking, what else are you going to bring up? It might be a concern. So like, you can't be mad at the decisions that led to other people's decisions not choosing you. You cannot be mad at that. You could have nullified all of that in the beginning by sitting there, giving them the choice right from the beginning. Do you want to F with me or not? I got this situation going on. What's good? But when you actually comfortable with yourself, you'll be able to do those things. But she's not. She's not comfortable with herself or this situation. So you can't sit here and just put it on Front Street with people and say, this is what it is. This is me. Take it or leave it. But I need her to stop screaming. Y'all don't know Rose. Y'all obviously don't know me. They don't. Because you didn't tell them who you was. You didn't tell them your situation, your background, nothing like that. You kept it a whole secret. You kept it a secret from your friend of 13 years. So what I'm supposed to do with all this information? I'm about to just back pocket that and say, oh, I trust her. She'll tell me the truth about anything going forth. No, I got to proceed with caution now. Now I got to question everything you told me before. I don't know. Y'all can trust her if you want. I don't.
Listen, would you want that for your son? I'm sorry. I wouldn't want it for mine. And I'm telling you right now, you better tell me, because don't let me find out, because then I'm going to be upset. I mean, what much can I do? But I'm out. I'm out either way. So you best be honest, because I'm telling you right now, I'm not putting myself in that situation. The only exception is like, she's just like got everything going for herself, and we done had us one of them young thug jail time calls, and he has told me out of his mouth, I support y'all relationship. Then, just maybe then, I might be like, all right, we can move forward. But that's
sure,
even
about to go let it get that far. That man will have to call in the middle of the day when she say this, right? 20 minutes after she tell you.
I mean, it will probably, you don't got to tell me at the first date. I mean, I'm not that strict. You don't got to tell me the first date. But like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th date, I need to know. And then I want to know, okay, what's he in there for? That's one. 2, does he know that y'all are not together? When's the last time you put money on his books? And can we get a call going within the next 10 business days where he tells me directly that he is okay with you moving on? That's my criteria. And she probably gonna look at me and be like, I ain't doing all of that. Okay, well, then I wish you Godspeed. God bless.
She want to expose the show, but she can't even expose herself. Okay.
She could have told him off camera. So all of these people, y'all love to throw a scenario around when it's convenient. Oh, she didn't want to talk about it. She didn't have to talk about it on camera. She could have told them. They have plenty of conversations, plenty. And she could have said, hey, listen, I'm really not comfortable talking about it. It's a very sensitive situation, blah, 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 blah. Da, 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 da.
Hey, listen, I hear you. Real spits, I hear you. Obviously, there was another person, Cisco and Taye. They obviously had their dynamic as well, and I guess information was probably omitted from that situation too. We're going to play a little clip so you can actually remind yourselves of what that looked like.
So we were like further along in the process, you know, some things started to come up, you know, the car and the house, and all I could think about was like stability. The issue is me kind of foreseeing it take place, and I'm just like, well, where do I fit in there?
Seeing takes apprehension to my stability.
I was thinking the same thing, that wasn't Cisco's sister. That's probably, if anything, that's his half sister. But I was thinking the exact same thing. That ain't his sister. She's a prop. She's an actor. I don't know what that is. What's your thoughts on this? Cisco obviously told his parent and sister that she shouldn't say anything too mad. So I want to get your thoughts. Yes, Jay.
I want to start with this part right here. Cisco was married before, and she said this is the first time she's meeting anybody serious. No Espanol around me, okay? No Espanol around me, baby, because I know very poquito, and I'm not about to play these games. What do you mean? Don't tell her too much information. What information that I don't know now? You ain't got no car. You ain't got no place to stay. What more do I need to know? Because obviously we like withholding information on this daggone season. Okay, what more do I need to know? Tell it all right now. I need to know everything since we sitting right here in this moment. Don't be in Spanish telling her not to say nothing, please, ma'am. You say you like me, tell me everything. And I need Tay to be listening. Because Tay listening with her lady parts right now. I need her to be listening with these ears in her mind. Because she been talking double out both sides of her mouth. Like, ma'am, you want kids in 2 to 3. That's why you dismissed the other man. But Cisco don't have stability. So where your kids' stability gonna be? How many children you plan on raising at the same time? Because you're gonna have to raise Cisco, baby number 1, baby number 2. He's fine. He's loving. He's kind. The family just reaffirmed that he's a good man without a job, potentially, without a car, factually, in a room somewhere. Don't really know. Now, if this man ain't testing your loyalty, I don't know what is happening right here. What are we doing? Because you want everything immediate. He's not going to give you anything immediate right now. And I understand supporting people's dreams, but geez, how much support are we going to have to give? See where you drop back on. I know it's only for a second, so I'll let you go ahead and jump in.
I'm trying to find a quiet place that ain't loud.
The sound seems good now.
Oh, good. It's just I ain't got nowhere to sit. Yeah. Oh, I do. I just found someplace. I also don't believe that is Cisco's sister. And if that is Cisco's sister, then why are all these people enabling him? That's my question. There's so many people enabling him right now. I won't understand. That's just my personal thoughts. I really don't know. I mean, I really don't know what Tay is doing. She's still bringing up the living situation to anybody who'll listen. And I don't know what the point of that is either. So what do y'all think? Dang, I ain't got my portable charger. Struggling, y'all. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was saying. Yeah, I was like, I really don't know what else to say. I don't know what they're doing. And I don't know why everyone is enabling his mess. Hold on, y'all.
Not her getting in trouble. Yeah, sure, go for it.
Look, I just feel like this is just getting preposterous, at this point. And so much so, and I usually don't even comment on these posts on OWN, but when Tommy, I know I shared it in the group chat, when he did that clip talking about how all his life he had to fight, and his wife, when they met, he didn't have nothing, and his wife supported him, and now she don't work, and he got Rolls Royces. We love to see it, but I'm sorry. I don't want that for my daughter. I don't want that for Cisco is 41 years old. Okay, he's 41, at least at the time this was filmed, right? If I had a daughter that was Taye, I had a best friend, somebody that I cared for, like Taye, and she's in a situation, she's doing well for herself, she works hard, I wouldn't want her to be with someone like Cisco. I'm sorry. We need to be honest. And I think we just need to stop coddling people and just be honest with people. It's okay to sit it out. It doesn't mean you're less than a person. He needs to sit it out and get himself together. And then when he has things together, then combine himself with somebody that has their things together. Or be with somebody that's on his same level. Y'all can struggle together and figure it out together. But don't be with somebody that's on the rise and they're gonna have to lift you up. I just think that's not, I think two whole people should come into the relationship and make a whole relationship. You shouldn't be broken. Somebody's all together, the other person's broken, and somebody's bringing somebody up. No, I'm sorry. They tell you on a plane, give yourself oxygen first. You got to think about you first. So there's times in your life where you just need to be selfish. And I think Cisco saying like some relationship is going to help him be stronger. No, you're going to latch on to that woman and drain her from her love, her emotional support, her financial support, her couch, her bed, and I don't think that's fair. I'm sorry. I don't think that's fair. And if we're honest, like, especially most of the guys that I've talked to lately get this one. So I'm glad. But like, if we're honest, I wouldn't wish that. I wouldn't wish that. We're not 20. We're 20. Okay. You can entertain it if the person seems like they're solid. If the person seems like they've got a good head on their shoulders. If the person seems like they have good moral fiber and they have a plan that they're saying, hey, these are some things that I want to do. But no. That's right, Cersei. I got to put me first, Lucius. I got to put me first. That's the comment right there. It's not a super chat, but we're going to post that because that is exactly what it needs to be. I'm sorry. And it don't make, we don't have to tear down Cisco. We don't have to make him less than I. And that's not what I'm trying to do. But at the end of the day got to end. And you got to get it together, bro. And he keeps bringing it up. That's the part that blows my mind, is he keeps talking about it like shaming Taye for being concerned about his lack of stability, like she's the problem. That alone tells me you're going to be problematic because you're not getting your stuff together. You're trying to make her feel bad for having concerns.
He doesn't have enough shame, Sean.
He needs to bring shame back. That's what they say online. Yeah. Bring it back.
There's a certain level of shame that actually creates changed behavior. He doesn't have no shame in it.
It's giving Manosphere red pill manufactured television right now. Because this is the conversations red pill Manosphere be having, like, oh, the women have to love me while I'm down here, I'm struggling. You have to build me up.
Kojo glitching. You got Kojo
red light.
Stop.
Now, Sean Stokes, this is not, I ain't gonna let you do my friend Aries like that. This is not Aries and Phil. No. This is not that. This ain't that, as they say. This is way worse. This is way worse. I gotta put me first, Lucius. That's what Tay needs to say. And I need Tay to wake up. Like, where's Tay at? Hello? Is anybody in there? Tay, are you with us? Like, what's going on, sis?
They say it's giving that, but it gives me Princess and the Frog. And what happened first? Tiana turned into a frog before she turned into a princess. So if that's the story you want to go with, by all means, enjoy the ride, Tay. Okay, but you're on a ticking time clock. Your lady parts is talking to you, so I don't know. I don't know if you want to walk down that road of being frustrated, because children is expensive. Grown people more expensive. So supporting people's dreams is very expensive. Very. Especially when they don't know the dream. And I feel like that clip you're talking about, Sean, is for next week. And I was going to save it for next week. But my thing is, there is nothing sexier than a man with a plan. But Cisco ain't got one. At least none we heard of.
You know, but Jay, when I tell you a broke man wouldn't even excite me in the slightest, I don't care what that man looks like. And so it's really even hard for me to understand Tay, because like, what part is exciting you? This is like a midnight caller. That's about it. This is your night caller.
Yeah. This is your donor, if that's what you want.
Yeah, you Uber Eats this man to the house. And if you need and you want a bank, you can use him as a bank, I guess. He got good genes, you know.
I mean, at what age do we stop banking on potential?
20.
I don't think that's the bank Seaway was talking about, though.
No, I know that's not the bank she was talking about. It's just a thought I'm having. Like, what age do we stop banking on potential? Because, I mean, especially potential without a plan. Because what does he plan on doing to get himself financially right, other than the love of a woman? I just need him to have his plan in motion already before he meets somebody. You want me to support your dreams, you got to support it first. What am I supporting? Air? Fluff talk? I don't know what she wants. But it's giving you about to be in a rose story, a single mother since day one.
That single mother since day one sounds like a scary movie.
But I'm also concerned because Tay got upset with Khalil because his timeline was off by a year or two for having kids.
That's why y'all got to understand there's intelligence and success, like book intelligence, and then there's life intelligence. And if you happen to have both, you really cooking with grease. Some people are just book smart, but when it comes to like logic, it's not logicking. They have no logic, because that don't make no sense.
But she legit flipped on him.
Yeah. Oh, this is something you should have told me from the beginning. This was not what we discussed.
And is Cisco's ready to have kids with her in her 2 to 3 year time frame?
Oh yeah, by the way he massaged.
But you know how like y'all would be able to kind of like put the 2 and 2 together and kind of expound on, hey, 2 to 3 years compared to this is probably going to end up being the same thing. That's a sign of like using your noggin. You got to use your noggin. Dick, I'm on 1%. Dick.
I fear she lost the plot too. I don't know, like how did you like? I'm so befuddled.
She didn't lose it. She said plot twist.
She said, "F this plot."
Plot twist.
I'm just
I'm the
That's what happens when you get digmatized. Listen, it can
Exactly.
easily happen, though. It can easily happen.
When that dude be standing
One
like
night
this,
in
doing
Jamaica.
like this.
Once your legs on the chandelier, yo, you gonna be clear.
He said,
You know
y'all
what I
ain't
mean?
heard how Cisco clap.
Bruh. Yeah. That once that man got inside into the end zone, it was all over, bro. All over. Touchdowns everywhere. You know what I mean?
You get a baby. You get a baby.
That's why you can't let them brothers into the end zone. When you do, that brother who was never a good fit, even if you're trying to Uber Eats, can suddenly become a whole meal. Listen, you got to be careful. You know what I'm saying to you? When you're on a mission and you want to get somewhere, sometimes you can't allow distractions to take place. Even an Uber Eats can't be allowed. You know what I mean? None of that stuff can be allowed because it can easily befit you and before you. You know what I mean? Look at King David out here. Bathsheba done took him out. Yeah, so if she can do that, hey, King Cisco can take you out too. All right?
Yeah, I already said the first mistake was telling him she had never had a massage before. Once you did that, she just put all her cards on the table.
My girl said, "Oh, like, I ain't never rolled on a bird before."
I could do the barest of bare minimums, and she's gonna be impressed.
You haven't had someone like Cisco give you a massage like that. She knows what she's saying, bro. No one, the hands like Cisco's hands have not touched her before like that, brother. I told you, saw how her toes curled? Oh, that was it. It was long on there, bro.
Some people, I ain't gonna hold you. Some men's grip should never be on you, okay? Because then he forever has a grip on you, all right? You let that man go. You let him go. Run, sis, run.
Yeah, go on with your bad self.
Unhand me.
It can easily before anybody. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you just don't have to. He never stood a chance until he got into the end zone. I just know he was hitting. Once he started hitting, that's it. It's over. Sensibility goes out the window. It's hard to keep a sensible mind, especially if it's hitting correctly too. You know, you can't underestimate the orgasm gap between men and women. So if he's hitting it correctly and getting out the orgasm, you're not going to win that game. She's going to lose that game. You know what I'm saying to you? The thing that she has to bless the Lord with and just hope that she gets out of there without a baby. Just pray that you get out of that situation without a baby.
No, she wants the baby though. She wants the baby.
But that's what. So then she might come out with a baby, and hey, she might be okay with that because she's like, you got good genes. Shoot, you know what I'm saying? Chew. You know, there's some ladies too who are like, you know what, I don't mind doing it by myself. Shit, you know what I mean? Like, I got good genes. I'm gonna do it by myself. I earn good amount of money. He won't be around because rah. He'll come whenever he needs to come to. Boom.
But see, that's
that's not what she said. She wanted though.
I know it's not what she said she wanted, but was Coach also saying too could be a bad choice too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say that you want a kid and you raise it all by yourself, but then you get with certain men and he gonna give you problem because, baby, you got your stuff together, you got your papers, so now he over here in custody court fighting for a kid he don't want so he can get the child support. Play if you want to, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You know, you need to make a sound decision. If your brain don't think, please don't use your leg in between your legs. Because that thing only think about one thing. And if you ain't a girl about getting paper, that's not what it's on. I don't know. Tay lost in the sauce.
I lost in the sauce indeed. Sauce is thick. Okay.
That Italiana's DP is saying something. Sorry.
Yeah, Sean is about to be lost in the sauce.
I got taken aback for a second.
Sean went to a whole zone out for a second.
I said,
someone else.
I done seen this DP a couple of times scroll through here. Let me just expand this. Oh, okay. All right.
Who the heck are you talking about?
Welcome to the LBB family, Italiana.
Oh, you are. You're terrible, Sean.
I said, wait, who is this?
You know. Oh, I see.
Listen, Italiana. Sean is willing to be your Tay.
She's a member too, sir. Oh, gracious king. Yeah, okay, let's move on to the next one. This obviously not this one. Well, Cam and Sahara had their own
the distance with, but I don't want to ignore what my family said about her. I can definitely see and understand their concerns. So right now I'm just as confused as ever. I don't know how every conversation we had.
Okay, kind of skip that part, but anyway.
On the side
yes,
note,
go for it.
Cam, I need you to keep that 5 o'clock shadow, babes. I need you to let that whole 10 o'clock midnight grow in. That baby, that's your look. That's your look. I don't know if you could keep it for your job, but that's your look. My bad. Y'all can carry on. I figured
No, that's all right, man. You had a moment. You had a moment. We ain't mad at you. You had your moment, baby.
I heard that Nola's accent creep in. I said, all right now.
Don't worry about that. Yeah, what's our thoughts then with Sahara and Cam's date? He brought an extra gift. He wanted to be nice. He was treating her good. It seems like. What you guys saying?
I don't know what was said or asked or mentioned that would make his decision less harder or more sound on why he should or shouldn't choose Sahara through this date. It was just, I just needed to show you some more time to make sure you're still locked in. For me, that's what I got from it. So let me give you some gifts that I know you would like and use on me if needed. And yeah, that's all that date was giving. I mean, like, to be honest, Cam's mind is made up. It's locked in on there. Now, it's funny because Sean Stokes said this earlier that, he feel like Hussein would go with Angie and then double back to Rose. But if anything, I feel like Cam will go to Angie and double back to Sahara, if anything. Because for him, he feel like it's totally locked. And like she said, listen, if you're going to be kissing all up on me, it need to mean something. Yet he still haven't made a full decision on where he going with this. So you up in the air giving threats for what? You done kissed the man already. Let it be. Enjoy the kiss. Heck, he can still kiss you and go over there and kiss the next one tomorrow. I don't know what to tell you, baby girl. But I don't know. I mean, I just feel like, he just wanted his solo date with her. He got his solo date. He locked in on this situation for me.
Yep. So you were something to say about the cat? Oh, Cam and Sahara.
I think it's probably gonna be too loud, but all he did was waste her time. That day he said a whole bunch of nothing. He locked in on her at the end. He said he still ain't locked in on her. Did y'all hear that? No?
No, we heard you, babe.
Yeah, he's wasting her time. He's talking about he locked in at the end. He's talking about he got a hard decision to make. Which one is it? You locked in or you got a hard decision to make? Which one is it?
Now she started vibing
out. Shout out to Seaway, man. She dedicated to the work. I love this, man. Sean, go for it.
I'm torn. I'm telling y'all, I'm torn. Like, I don't want him to do my Sahara wrong, because I like her, and it seemed like he got some nice presents for her, the candles, the smell goods, the things, was very thoughtful. So part of me just wants to believe, I got to believe in somebody. So I just hope he's not playing in her face. You know what I'm saying? I hope he's not playing in her face, because I think they have like that, I was born out in Queens, she was raised in Brooklyn. They got that kind of like flavor. I like it for them, and I want to see something work. I want to root for something. It's just Cam has to get out of his way. I do see that. Sahara needs to soften just a little bit more. I see her, you know, she's kind of, you know, been open. She was like, the thing that she likes about him when she met the family is that he has a calming presence on her. So I don't want him to go into this thinking he's like a lion tamer, though. Like he's going to be the one that's going to get her together. So I don't know. It could go either way, but I'm rooting for them. I got to root for somebody, so I'm rooting for them.
But the problem is, Sean, is that Sahara is not Cam's dream girl. He treats her like he could do better than her. The whole time, she's the one he wants. I don't even feel like he gave us nothing to believe in. He's playing around, like currently. So
he gave us some nice gifts. Come on. They were
thoughtful. At the
thoughtful.
end, that he's still torn. But then he told her this is his commitment. He's a liar.
That's why he running from Angie, because he know he was going to his car busting out from the games he playing. You know? I don't know.
Do we believe it's not his dream girl? Is that what we're saying? Do we believe it's not his dream girl? I mean, is it most men's dream girl, to be honest? You know, because we know you ladies settle for us man them, so is it really? Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Why you give Kojo something to talk about?
I mean, you know, y'all.
I'm sorry.
Y'all definitely ain't Andre 3000, so you know it is always gonna be a settle. Shoot, I'm
That's
just gonna
right.
let you know now. All right.
Under 2999.
Yeah, call me. You know, about to put my number out there, but is it? I mean, I don't know if he dreaming about her like every night, but it might be some reoccurring dreams that he's had of the past. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Some dreams are called nightmares. But I don't know. I do think he fancies her. I think he does. I think he does find familiarity. Forgive me how I pronounce that word right now because it's gonna come out how it won't. But I do think he finds comfort with her, a space like I've been here. You know what I'm saying? I know this road. But I also think he wants to be on a different path with his life. So he's in that transition phase where things of the past can still attract to me, but I want new and better things. If you get what I'm saying.
Point. I get what you're saying. You know, I feel that way in Jamaica too. So I understand what you're saying.
What's this? Reminisce on the love we had.
You gonna find out
This is the second, third time you done talked about some Jamaica.
I've been having you know, flashbacks. You can do
dreams of your dreams, flashbacks, or
yeah. I think a bit of everything, to be honest. Nightmares and dreams. The good and the bad. So I understand when you're trying to do better, but you ain't do better.
You forgetting, you reminiscing, you forgetting about not go home cry. It's not the time. Because you're not worth my tears.
Baby, Letitia, if we ever give a Jamaican story, it's gonna be a whole fictional script because what we can
I better tell it before I become
going on. Y'all, it'll have to be like The Best Man where we writing the story.
Yeah, you know, it has to be like later on when we're all far gone. So we can tell that story like it didn't mean that because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So that we can change the characters' names.
Monetized big time. Forget about
Big
members.
We need money.
Like
we need a whole script
Patreon.
after.
This is you got to set up a Patreon just for Jamaica.
They want day 4 because
exactly
right. Because it's definitely some good times.
Good times.
This can't be on the internet. This just can't be on YouTube.
Yeah. No. You can't just be on the internet. No.
I gotta go straight to HBO, maybe even Netflix.
You know what I'm saying? We need some of the big networks to tell that story because there's a lot that happened. That's a whole film. You know what I mean? With a sequel with it. You know what I mean? So yeah. Will you guys get that story? Never. So we'll tell it at somebody's funeral. You know what I mean? When we're old and gone.
Not at the funeral.
You know what I mean? When we're all and gone. When we're old and gone. When we're 80 and plus. You know what I mean? When we're 18 plus, we can tell the story finally. I can be like, oh, well.
See now, delirious. I might be like, there was this one time.
Yeah, I remember Jamaica back in 2020.
Can you imagine? At the next wedding, I have a toast. Cling, 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 cling.
Just before you gonna get married now. Let me just tell you a story about.
Really share this now.
Wrong time, bad no.
Tell you a little something about
in front of my wife, Sean. In front of my wife.
You'd be like, yeah. Let me just tell you a story, just in case.
And then have his partner looking like Hussein with Rose when the information came out. Like, wait,
yeah. Well, you didn't want to tell me that before? Yeah. What had happened was, remember, you was also doing your thing too. So you came with gaslighting. Put a rose on somebody. Yeah. Well, what's you? When I was
debating you in 2020.
Exactly. Anyway, sorry guys, my bad. I distracted us.
See where traumatized.
She don't even know what we've been talking about at this point. I'm sure she was just heard Jamaica, didn't hear nothing we else said. She didn't hear nothing we said. Okay. We leave that firmly closed. Okay, that comes up.
See where that other part of Rose. I don't want to relive this.
I'm in my truth. Jamaica don't have nothing to do with me.
It was crazy, you know what I mean?
Y'all.
I'm disassociated with it all.
Yeah, it stays in the vault. Even when the first day when you guys weren't there, that's in the stays in the vault because some people saw some things. Anyway, so back to what I was saying.
That hotel should have stayed in the vault that you stayed in.
Listen, hey, that hotel saw some action. Okay, all right, Holy Spirit action. I prayed in there. Okay, prayed in there.
You need to pray that you didn't catch no bed bugs running around that place you found.
That place was beautiful. I liked it. That place was nice.
Just
it wasn't the resort.
That airport motel you scrounged up in Atlanta. The wheels of the plane landing right. I had to duck down. I was like, oh.
Yo, that was Atlanta. Wait.
I was like, Kojo, how the hell you picked this hotel?
You need to put some respect on Comfort Inn, blood.
That wasn't even a comfort in. It was a comfort.
Put some respect.
Comfort in. That was a comfort.
Wait, Sean,
put some respect on Comfort Inn.
The
room was spacious. The bed was comfy. Late. You know what I'm saying? You had a nice little gym in there.
It's a motel when the door opens to outside. You open the door to your room and you are literally the pavement.
They had a swimming pool with no water in. That's what killed me the
car
most.
parked right outside your door.
Exactly, the car.
Bro, they just sucked out all the water out the pool as well.
He can literally put his foot out the door and he's in 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is
They be hating, guys. They be hating on the Comfort Inn. That Comfort Inn, it was good, man.
Oh
okay,
my
Comfort
God.
Inn was good.
This was
Atlanta.
Car ride in Houston.
This is Atlanta.
Listen.
Woo! Hey, the car ride in Houston will forever be that car ride. Oh my God, we were dying in that car.
Not y'all. Kojo.
Dying in that car.
That's what happens when you let Kojo book his room. No, he did come to New York, Letitia, and I booked the rooms where he was going to. Because I'm not going to let my brother come to New York and stay anywhere. That brother would have been in Southside do or die somewhere. Like, oh,
listen, hey,
top of the morning to you.
Listen, it was gracious. That's where you find the birds. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. If you find the birds, okay.
All right.
Oh, bro.
All right, we're gonna end up. They trying to sneak us into telling stories. Don't trust them. Okay.
That's true. Okay. Focus.
You see how they wore
it.
I mean, reliving moments of it. My bad. Focus. Thank you for bringing us back, Jay. Focus. We talking about James and
Kiara.
Jay and Kiara. Thank you.
James and Kiara. His name is
James.
Is he James?
Yes. Tommy screamed, "Hey, James!" And that man walked in. His name is James.
His name is James.
For important age. So it's kind of just to try to like blend the families to kind of see if that works.
Introducing the kids would be a major step. The only thing that has me hesitant is the argument that we had at the getaway. That's the only thing that's keeping me.
Okay, James, John, and Kiara. What are your thoughts on this situation?
And you know, in acting, you can call your name James, John. It don't matter. Jim. They all the same.
He's now JJ from now on.
Exactly.
So what's your thoughts on JJ and Kiara? Because obviously the parents were there. I thought they were pretty sound. I can't lie to you. And they gave them solid advice. You know what I'm saying? She didn't let Jay skirt off. But he also let Kiara know as well that, hey, maybe something here, something to look at. What's your guys' thoughts on this scenario? What has an outside? Yes, sure.
I thought Seaway put a thumbs up.
Oh, okay.
Did you want to go, or you were just putting a thumbs up, Seaway? I guess no. I really like Jay's family. I really, really like Jay's family. I loved his parents. They were like super wholesome. His aunt was funny as heck. And C-Perk, you peeped it too, right? The house was nice. They had a pool in the backyard. I said, okay, look at Jay. So I really liked them. They had good advice. They talked about communication. I'm trying to remember, maybe one of the ladies will remember, but I forgot who introduced that whole Sahara touching leg moment. Was it Kiara, or did they ask about it? If it was
He
Kiara,
said he was being transparent and told. He said he was being transparent with his parents and told them.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't the one to bring it up. They brought it up. So, or Jay did. But yeah, so because if she brought it up, I'd be like, yeah, you're never gonna win trying to bring drama. But he talked about it, and I think they still did give some solid advice and talk about communication. So I think that's really critical. Kiara seemed to be open to the feedback. I'm
being corrected. They said Kiara brought it up. But
Kiara did? Okay.
I thought Jay said he was being transparent. So I got to go back and see exactly. But I thought he said he was being transparent. So I don't know how it came up.
Well, if she did ding on her, because you shouldn't have brought it up. I like these two, but I don't think they're going to make it. I think that, and to be honest, I think it's one of those situations where I think Kiara still feels justified a little bit. Like, she's saying all the right things, but I feel like in her heart, she feels like she was right to feel how she felt. She was right to kind of go after Sahara a little bit. And because I don't think she sees where her thought process, it definitely, Jay was doing too much, but the way she went about it, and then, how she was like screaming into the pillow, all of that, because the behavior won't change if you don't realize this is wrong. Like, I'm thinking about this, the whole thing, the wrong way, because y'all are not really together. And I mean, that's when Sahara really won it for me, because when Kiara approached her and she's like, are y'all together? And she was like, no. She's like, well, what are we doing and why are we doing it? Like, what's this conversation about? And I think like, that's when, you have to realize sometimes our emotions do get the best of us, and we like get a heightened moment, but we have to like think back and reflect on it. Like, oh, I did too much. I really wasn't thinking about this the right way, and I didn't react in the right way. I don't think she thinks any of that. I think she feels fully justified. She just thinks maybe I didn't have to scream into the pillow, but she has to begin at the beginning. And the beginning is you were flipping out over somebody that really wasn't yours, where you could have handled it in a very different way without flipping off the top and then pulling the other person in to have some conversation to quote unquote set her straight. That's what I think. So I just don't think they're going to work out.
Totally understand. I understand. Any other thoughts on Jay and Kiara? Kiara.
Oh, Seaway saying she don't have none. I was about to tell her to go ahead and go because I was trying to find that part where how he got brought up.
Well, I was just gonna say that I'm at least glad that the parents tried to give real advice. I'm glad that they didn't just yes man the situation. They tried to give real advice because Kiara just shut down and he was playing in her face. They gave very balanced advice, and I think that's a sign of supportive community. Because when you're in families where people can't even give both of y'all balanced advice, you're destined to fail. So I appreciated that. They seem to have both of their best interests at heart.
For me, I think what concerns me the most about this thing is that at 30-something years old, we keep screaming that we spoiled. Like, if you tell me I spoil myself, that's one thing or whatever, stuff like that. But just to say I'm spoiled comes with a certain type of behavior, a certain type of attitude, meaning that you're going to throw a tantrum, you're going to act out, you're going to do all of these type of things. When we're at a big grown age, we calling ourselves spoiled. It's crazy to me. So that's my number one problem, because one, you're spoiled. And so what we're going to do is manipulate the situation so we can get our way. Because that's basically ultimately what she did in that whole situation with Jay. Is I'm going to pretend to be mad so he knows his place. Does he? He just knows that you're going to get mad and I know how to sneak it from you next time. Or, you know what I'm saying? When we start doing these manipulation tactics, we just learn how to get around them and stuff like that. Some people play a little bit better. So this could be a situation where we're going to start doing tit for tat type things. That's never a good thing. Then when you tell me that I'm okay with communication, but except for when I get mad. Well, I can't control when you get mad. That's emotions is a personal thing. That's a choice that you're making to be. So when you get mad or you don't want to talk to me, or you don't want to communicate with something that maybe I'm making you be accountable for, guess what's going to happen? And I'm mad. So here we go. Now I get to scream in the pillow, talk to the wall, and do all these other things because I'm mad and I don't know how to communicate properly. Yes, we can give her credit for being honest and open about that, but what are you doing to change that? And I love the thing that Jay actually said is like communication is good, but it's not just about communication, is how we communicate. And I'm gonna add to that, it's the timing of when we communicate. Sometimes I don't need to talk to you when I'm at my highest of anger or when my rage is on its top level and stuff like that, because some of the stuff I say may not be the best to resolve the issue that's at hand. So maybe I need to calm down and talk to you about it a little later. But we do need to have a conversation about it. If we're going to be anything like Jay's parents, 25 years plus in the game. And anybody that I've talked to who has been married for a long time, it's always came down to communication and effective communication at that. We can't be yelling and screaming at each other and stuff like that. There's no respect in that. I'm not listening to you if you're yelling at me. If you're screaming at the top of the lungs, or you can't properly communicate how something made you feel. I should be able to talk about how I feel, and you should be able to talk about how you feel. Fine. But if you're going to be yelling at me, I can choose not to listen to that. If you're going to be disrespectful and calling me out my name, abusive or anything, that's not communication. So for me, Kiara needs to work on that. Not just for herself in a relationship, but you're raising young men and they learn from that. So like for their safety too, for their sake too, they need to learn how to communicate. You need to learn how to communicate with your boys as well, because it's probably giving you yell at them probably a lot. Instead of having conversations with them, especially at certain ages. Playing the games and withholding, like, I don't want to talk to you. When he's effectively trying to come and talk to you about the situation. And then I agree. I don't care for how you did the situation with Kiara. I mean, not Kiara, but Sahara. For me, it was really no reason to like try to play her. Like it was like something not on her part. Obviously, if this man is rubbing on her, make you feel some type of way, do you not believe that he's making her feel some type of way? Don't gaslight her to make it seem like he's not doing nothing on her behalf, but you felt some type of way behind it. Enough for her to call her into the room because you don't want to just take his word. There's nothing going on. So they have a lot of minor problems that need to be hashed out before we start talking about introducing kids. I was with his face expression in that moment when he was like, yeah, I don't know about all that. Because what we introducing kids and mixing all of this up for if we can't have simple conversations about what's going on between us? I'm not mad at her transparency for talking about her father, her kid's father situation, all of that stuff like that. But there's other parts of her communication style that needs to be worked on. And Jay, too, you need to be honest because, sir, what was the purpose of doing all that with Kiara? I mean, with Sahara in front of the whole thing. And on top of it, I'm trying to figure out, I'm gonna run back to Kiara real quick. Like, sis, you trying to figure out if he was very transparent and told his parents everything, ma'am. You left out a whole thing too. Y'all are openly dating other people. Y'all make it seem like y'all was super exclusive and that was all that y'all agreed to and stuff like that. Y'all are on this show to date other people. He still has options. Just because you don't have any more does not mean he is tied all the way locked in with you. But again, Jay, if you told her that you're all the way tied in, locked in, please keep your hands to yourself. I don't know. These two don't think it's a nice lusty situation. You know, it'd be cute for a couple of months or whatever and stuff like that. But long distance is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And if it don't start now with them both being actually honest and like with Sean, me and you talked about it before, talking to each other at proper times, it's not going to go anywhere.
And Imani said it, and I think it's a perfect song. What I need from you is understanding. How can we communicate if you don't hear what I say? That's so true. You know what I'm saying? Like communication, like if you're not hearing, if the words aren't penetrating, because hearing is the act of processing and listening, you know, and comprehending what the other person is saying. And then you're both able to hear each other's parts, you know, but I think they got a little too caught up in the wrong things, trying to minimize whatever Jay had going on with Sahara to justify why he was rubbing on her. And then see the, you know, it's like, you missed the plot. It's, I made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got comfortable. I do like her too. You know, I like you more. Our connection is deeper, but I do like her, you know, like, so I got, you told me to date other people. So I've been seeing her, like, and, you know, and it's not the same. I'm going to give you that. But like, you don't have to dumb down. You don't have to like play in her face or make her seem less than because you got called out. Just say sorry. Like, my bad. I got carried away. We all get carried away. Hence Jamaica. You know, we all got carried away a little bit in our own little ways, you know, some more than others, but we all got carried away, you know, everybody had a little carried away-ish.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just be honest, just be real, and just be like, you know what, my bad, I messed up, sorry, babe. You know what? And as I'm thinking about it, not to say her reaction was right, but that might have she might have put her guard down and stopped screaming in the pillow, because she would have been able to hear him, because she wouldn't have been like, you're playing me because you're not saying things that make sense. So that's when the person like has that immature reaction, like, you're not talking to me, I don't want to hear it, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he just said, my bad, babe, I took it too far, you know, I did go too far. So yeah, it definitely is. I'm seeing this is a both sides kind of thing. Again, which is why I don't think these two are going to make it per se. I think he still has concerns. I think maybe she has concerns, but she's masking it. I don't know. I haven't really fully heard. You know, I think she's still annoyed by the whole thing, but does she think it's a concerning moment? I don't know. So, yeah, I don't think maybe these two are just not a good match. Maybe they're not really quite ready for love. Because if this is how Jay handles that, and this is how they both deal with conflicts, maybe they're both not ready to love.
Totally agree, because they both terrible at communication. Jay come from a family where he say it's healthy signs or whatever and stuff like that, and it's his mom that's giving him the best advice or whatever. But people do what they want. They learn how they want to learn, and they learn what they want to learn after a certain age. And he has not learned how to communicate effectively. Because like you said, Sean, it should have been as simple as, I messed up. My bad. I did go too far. But I was out here, I still got my options. I still need these votes, whatever the case may be. But the baby, please, you just hear me out afterwards. You know what I'm saying? That's not real communication. You just trying to make up. You just trying to get back in the bedroom. And I hope they're not trying to pull a Rose. We just gonna sex it away. You just don't. That does not work all the time.
Shout out to Cranes in the Sky. Sing it for
Hello.
Jay.
Hello. It away. Oh, to sex it away. But it still was there. It was still there. You better sing it. But yeah, nah, they both got terrible communication. They need to work on that. Like even in that moment when she was talking about the next thing, the question, here's another thing too. The question was, what is the next conversation? They said, we're going to introduce kids. Child, they got overall communication problem because they don't ain't got no good listening skills either. Like what? Unless it was edited. What? What's the next conversation? Yeah, we're going to introduce the kids. No. And I seen a comment was saying a person can't be serious if you're not willing to introduce your kids. Baby, first of all, you're not serious if we arguing in the first couple of weeks of meeting each other. If we got to go back and forth in the first couple of sessions of we meeting each other, baby, no, I'm not introducing my child to you at all. You might not be here that long. We got to figure out how we resolving this issue before I be introducing you to my child, because it's already giving me no toxicity, no. So I don't know. I don't know. People do what y'all want with y'all kids. I'm different. It take me a long time before my child got introduced to somebody, and you had to be serious. Like you have to be around for me. That's just me. I know other people move a little bit faster and stuff. I do have a time limit if I feel like you're serious, but introduction, no, you'll know of. I got children. I got a child. Full on introduction, yeah.
Plus, Jay, they don't need to meet your daughter because y'all are twins. So see my daughter. Just close your eyes. That's what she looks like. She looks just like me. That's it. Introductions come way down the line.
No, but I'm talking about back when she was young, like younger too. It's like, no, I got to protect my child. I just look at it a little different. My child is in protection at all times with me. So for me, not really knowing you and then put you around my child, that's endangering my child, in my opinion. And it doesn't really matter because I can know you for a long time and still put you around my child and endanger my child. But I would trust you a little bit more if I did know you a little bit better, if I spent more time with you.
Here, I fear we have no one to root for, really. Maybe a little bit Cam and Sahara, who knows? But y'all just dash my hopes with that. So I just don't feel like we have anybody to really root for.
Let's root for Taye choosing herself.
It's not looking that way. This is the thought I had too, because they've been talking about in the chat all these commercials that Cisco been doing and all this press. And I think, listen, Tommy is bigging him up big time. Maybe they're going to have a vested interest in making sure he's successful. Maybe. And maybe he'll be the exception to the rule and things will work out. he won't like all the attention that he's starting to really get. He'll still be true to Taye. He'll do the right things. He'll step up. He'll provide. They'll be able to grow together. When I talk about it, it sounds like a lot of things that are just.
I think my thing is always this, especially when you go on the TV or you get newfound stardom. How do you handle the inbox? How do you handle the sudden recognition? You know what I'm saying? And yes, they can potentially be a great couple, but is he really that invested into Taye though? Or is he just moving off of desperation? Because if I'm moving off of desperation, I'm going to just move to the next thing once I'm situated and grounded. And thank you for all the energy that you put in, but you weren't my last stop. These are things like Taye need to factor in a little bit and stuff like that. Like, am I your final destination? Or do you just need me help you get to the next level so you can find your person? If that's the case, and it's possible he do like her right now. But we all like somebody until something we feel is better come along. Somebody is going to come along and start speaking more life and more all of these things at a point when she's tired. Is what they have really strong enough to hold on and carry through past all that point? Because guess what? The devil going to test you. So is the foundation that they're building right now very, very solid? I don't know. Sean, you want to continue to root for them, though? I don't know.
Root for who?
Taye and Cisco.
I'm not rooting for them.
No, I'm just saying.
Clear. I'm saying there is a slight possibility. Slight. It may be. I'm just throwing it out there. It might just work. Maybe.
I'll treat their relationship like how I treat me getting married. Let it do its thing while in private. And in 5 years, if we still here, let's have this big old celebration, baby. So if they can make it some years, I might believe on them. I feel like whose relationship I felt like that with? It was a celebrity whose relationship I felt like that too. It was like, oh, they still together? It might be a couple from a couple of seasons back too. Oh, I know who it is. I'll talk to y'all. And
I thought you was gonna say Megan Good and Jonathan Majors. Because that's what I think about them, honestly. That's how I feel about them. I don't support it, but I'm like, if y'all make it work, then
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
The optics look crazy to me. But if y'all figure it out, go off, be happy.
Well, listen, we come to the end. Oh, we come to the end. We came to the end. So, Sean, if you could give us well, actually, before I go benediction, let me just say, guys, tomorrow night we will be having our first open kind of panel, I guess, relationship talk at 8:30 p.m. EST. We'll be talking about, sleeping in different beds or different rooms. Does it ruin your relationship to sleep in different beds and different rooms? Does that ruin your relationship? We'll be having that tomorrow at 8:30. And we'll be putting on a panel every week on a Wednesday, 8:30, just for about 2 hours max. Nothing longer than that. I want to keep it nice and short. So me, of course, myself and Sean we're doing our pop the balloon, and then we go into talking, obviously, the panel stuff. So Wednesday nights, yes, Sean, yes. We're back this Wednesday. This Wednesday we're on. Yes, I'm back for you. Indeed.
You say that now, Sean, and then tomorrow you be looking for him with a flashlight.
I'm back. Girl, no more. Yeah, before I would hitting his line, Kojo, you up? Where you at? Blah, 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 blah.
You need to remember that. You know what I mean? You have to remind me. Sometimes I'll be falling asleep.
Yep, you be
You know what I
falling
mean?
asleep. Now, I just busy myself. See, I done learned how to navigate the avoidant dismissives of it all. I just move
I'm back,
around.
people.
Sean said, I'll be out in these streets
down
until
at
you hit
all,
me.
nothing.
I
Sean said,
am
I'll be
back.
out in these
I'm
streets
back.
until you hit me, and then I'll meet you when I get to the elevator.
You know what I mean? I was a little bit wayward now, but I'm back. I'm gathering myself to be more routined again.
Huh? You kind of
Places
tell us
we-
what you were doing while you were away?
Well, listen, a lot of things. You know, you just most time it's been falling asleep or prayer, and then I just get tired, bro. By the time I get, I'm like, oh, I'm knackered, bro. I'm in bed. You know what I mean? So, but yes, we're back. We're back on these panels, and I can't wait to really get rid of Ready to Love because honestly, they've been doing my night in. So yes, Wednesdays, I think, and I've cleared my schedule as well, so I don't coach on a Wednesday, so that actually I can be fully energized for the evening sessions as well. Okay, so listen, I'm being serious about that Wednesday, Sean. So I'm back with you. Okay, all right. He's like, yeah, I'll believe when I see you, Negro. No worries, sir. I'm gonna prove you in action. Okay.
Send me the link.
No, I'm gonna send you the link.
Hey,
I'm gonna
Kojo,
send you the link.
your words is as
Yeah.
good as Sean in that Peloton with Seaway. Yeah, I said I'm gonna go there right now. I'm choosing violence.
That touched my soul.
I said I'm choosing
broke
violence
my
right now.
soul. You broke my soul. Not you can't break. You done broke
You
my
can't
soul.
break my soul.
You did break my soul. You didn't break my soul. How you gonna do that to me like that? Unprovoked.
We're unprovoked. I'm sorry, I chose violence.
Unprovoked. Jesus, I was sitting here minding my business and got touched.
Listen, anybody can get touched here. This is, you know what I mean? That's how people
Really?
stay in my corner. I was standing in my corner.
He said, I got something.
Don't worry.
That
Don't
Peloton
worry.
that's collecting dust, boop, that's for you. I need to get on it too, boy.
Don't worry, winter's coming now, so we can do it, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know what I mean? So it's coming. You'll get plenty of use for it. But yeah. So yes, tomorrow night.
You ready to wrap this up? Let's wind on down here. You know, open the doors of the church.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't got to go home. But you gotta get out of here.
So right,
Don't
we
worry,
don't
listen.
even have to worry about the donation. Just go.
You know what I mean? We're even taking an offering. But don't worry, I'm going to put a little clip for them to see what they're going to talk about tomorrow so you guys can see. I was inspired by this video here on OWN, actually. I might start watching the show, you know. But you will know what
that we're sleeping in separate rooms. They can't fathom being in the same house with the man that they love and sleeping in separate rooms. Like, what? Josh and I have been married for 15 years. For the past 3 years, I would say our marriage has been a little shaky. I initiated Josh and I sleeping in separate bedrooms. So he's the one that moved to the guest bedroom. It's been about 2 months. Throughout the marriage, there are some things that I experienced that I haven't healed from. Trust is not there. And I want to see growth in my life, and I'm not seeing it. I just don't feel good in this space that I'm in. I'm trying to change that.
I didn't hear a word she said. She is breathtakingly beautiful.
fine. Bruh, she's fine. I'm sorry. She's fine.
I don't know what bed or what the hell she was talking about.
Broski. I don't know what bed she's talking about, but that couldn't be me in separate beds. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
She sleeps alone is all.
She can't be sleeping alone.
Hey,
that's
do you need?
and that's the
We
problem.
could just cuddle if whatever. Look.
Ain't no way.
She is beautiful. The hair, the skin, the voice. She sounds like she could sing. Sing me right out of my drawers. I don't know what's the problem, but unless she's crazy, he needs to get it together because that is a beautiful
it's
woman.
given infidelity or something, or
Yeah, I think he cheated, but she ain't saying it out loud. But yeah, I think he cheated. Yeah, I think he cheated. That's why she's not there. So we're gonna definitely gonna have a talk about that tomorrow. So yes, if you're tuning in at 8:30 p.m. EST, we'll definitely have a conversation panel talk about that. Yeah. But yes, Sean, if you could take us on our way.
So, you know, we always like to end in positivity. And there were some folks that we were a little, you know, or maybe even I'll take ownership, you know, I was a little harsh on, or if anyone were harsh. And, you know, we just like to give it to you raw and real over here, but there's still love. So I have a song by an artist. If anybody's heard of her, she's amazing. Great songs. And it's Cleo Soul. And this song is for Rose. This song can be for Cisco. Maybe it could be for Kiara and Jay too. But I think primarily for Rose and a little bit for Cisco. And it's called A Rose in the Dark. I'm a little wiser, baby. I'm a little kinder, baby. After all these years, it's time to let you know. See, I learned some things, my baby. Finally spread my wings to save me. Yes, I lost myself. That's why I had to go. Then the light came up, baby. Right after I forgave me and I prayed so hard, I thought I'd lose my mind. And I'm a little stronger, baby. So I think like we need to get in tune with ourselves. And sometimes in relationships, we're so focused about the other person, and we need to fall in love with ourselves so that we are ready to love. And in doing that, sometimes it's therapy. Sometimes it's getting to a place where we are solid, we are stable, whether it's emotionally, financially, or all of it, in order for us to be better. So that's when we're ready to love, is when all the pieces of us are together and we can be a complement to somebody else. Back to you, Coach. I forgot my outro.
Sean
No,
may
that's
not
all
a
right,
book
brother.
of songs for y'all that's saying it's like he's quoted like a scripture. A book of songs.
That's right. Kiss from the rose to the grave. Well, listen, people, folks, listen, it's been a wonderful time. Okay, so listen, we've had a good time, we've had a good conversation, we've chopped it up, we've had fun. You know what I'm saying? We even teased you a little bit with a film that may never ever come out. So listen, you've had a good time, you've enjoyed as well. Shout out to Nola as well. With the super chat said, y'all see his body, Tyler P about to snatch him up. Yeah, I know Tyler P on there, he in trouble as well. And obviously, she said, obviously, Cam got the crazy ex, send him home like a rose. And she obviously sent another super chat in saying Cam is triggered by crazy Angie, but like Sahara as well. So thank you very much, Nola, for these super chats. It's been much appreciated as well. Look, tomorrow I want you guys here. We had 330 people in the room today, almost 400. So listen, we love the fact we're regrowing our audience again once more. We've got Married at First Sight UK, I believe, starting this month. We've got Married at First Sight starting, I think, US next month as well. So Love is Blind US is back in as well in October. So next 2-3 months going to be filled with a lot of live panels again to get you guys back into the shows as well. But listen, tomorrow night, myself and Sean go live and Pop the Balloon, and then it's we have a paneled talk as well, which will be an open invite if you guys want to come in, share your thoughts as well from 8:30 p.m. concerning whether sleeping in separate beds will cause the relationship to ruin. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I know about me. You ain't gonna be sleeping in someone else's bed when it's you and me. You know what I'm saying to you? It just can't happen. All right. But listen, we gonna we gonna sit there. You know, with
it's still our bed in our house. It's just one of our other beds.
Listen, if Jamaica hasn't taught you anything, let it teach you that. You ain't gonna sleep in no other else's bed. I ain't gonna do it. Thank the Lord, and we're gonna be gone. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded, stay safe and sanctified. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, baby. Okay.
You know what time it is.